Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So today, guys, I wanted to talk about Ripple and XRP within the context of some of their investors who has been interested in the technology, who has been interested in the space altogether. And so I've dug into the Working Money channel archives, and I found a few clips that I wanted to share with you guys a little later on. Now, they were from a couple of years ago now. One of them was from January of 2020, and the second one was about a year after that, January of 2021. So almost 1 and 2 years old, respectively. However, I think now, more than ever before, guys, is it important to see, despite what the price is doing now for Ripple's XRP, to see who's invested, to understand their thinking, the fundamentals behind the investment, the reasons why these billionaires would invest in these companies. So first, I just wanted to bring you guys this tweet here from T-Hole-Bet at XRP. The individuals involved are just a distraction at this point. Now, he's referring to that Hillary Clinton video that I showed you guys a couple of weeks ago. It's 100% about USD hegemony. The Democrats, Hillary Clinton, no one is doing themselves any favors being anti-crypto. XRP is the largest threat to the USD as the global trade currency. Hence, Ripple is being attacked. And so this just goes towards the sentiment of the fact that the world is a stage, the SEC right now coming down hard on Ripple. But guys, this is going to be temporary. Just look at who is behind this powerhouse. It cannot be stopped. T-Hole-Bet at XRP just continued on by saying Hillary Clinton just said it plain as day. Crypto is being used to weaken the US by China, Russia, and others, likely out of self-interest, as opposed to an attempt to undermine the US. Our government will decide if we can win this battle or if we focus elsewhere. So something to be paying attention to. Let's also not forget what happened earlier this week. Jeremy Hogan posting this, ADA holders beware. eToro didn't decide to lose money for no reason. The most likely reason to stop ADA trading for US customers is a warning from the SEC. And if the SEC really wants to protect Ethereum, as I've been reading, who would it sue next? If you guys did not know about this story, it sounds as though this is a warning signal, guys, from eToro. eToro, a stock trading platform come cryptocurrency exchange, has delisted Cardano's ADA and Tron's TRX cryptocurrencies. In its announcement, the exchange revealed that US users will no longer be able to open new positions or stake the two tokens starting in a month's time. This comes the same time that Bitstamp, a much bigger exchange, listed ADA, and as expected, Charles Hoskinson had quite a bit to say about the ban, which he claims blindsided him. Users will not be able to open new ADA and TRX positions. This is just the statement here, and that is going to be starting on December 26th. Additionally, staking for those assets will end on December 31st. eToro stated in an announcement, the move is due to business-related considerations in an evolving regulatory environment. So this is what they're stating. However, they are saying that this is just for US users, which makes me also think, similar to Jeremy Hogan, that the SEC is now looking to branch out and to sue to target other cryptocurrencies. US users will be able to hold their existing TRX and ADA positions and can close positions at any time and receive USD. Staking rewards will end as well, as I'd mentioned. The exchange is also working on its eToro Money cryptocurrency wallet that is compatible with these two tokens, and that should launch in early 2022. This wallet will allow users to hold their ADA and TRX even when they can no longer sell them for USD. And so eToro refrained from disclosing any specific regulatory concerns that forced it to drop the two supported tokens. They're keeping it a mystery. They are not saying anything at the moment about the SEC coming after them. But Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Cardano, he put his opinion out on Twitter, was quick to respond to the latest move about 20 minutes after eToro made the announcement. He made a video from his home in Colorado addressing the drop by eToro and why it was insignificant in the bigger picture. So he just retweeted out Dan Gambardello's tweet here. Let me get this straight. Cardano just got listed on a major crypto exchange, Bitstamp, that does $513 billion in volume a day. But all I am seeing is negative news about Cardano getting delisted from a small exchange, eToro, that only does about $67 billion. Charles Hoskinson responding to that, and we didn't even get delisted. ADA is still on eToro, and non-US customers can trade freely. So we are still in the dark on this. We don't know exactly what the SEC is trying to do. I just wanted to bring you this because it looks like the US is making bolder moves. And, us as XRP holders, we're in a good position because we are already going through this. We're almost a year in since the Ripple and XRP lawsuit, and now we're coming out of the back end. XRP is going to be that cryptocurrency that gets the clarity first. And so now if the SEC tries to bring in other crypto projects like Tron or like Cardano, these are going to be the next line of coins that are going to face scrutiny and perhaps lose value as a result. So, in a way, if this was the SEC's strategy from the beginning, I'm, I dare I say, kind of happy that it happened when it did. We're almost a year in, guys. We're coming out the back end of this. We've heard from Brad Garlinghouse that early 2022, hopefully we will see some clarity for Ripple and the XRP token. But anyway, this just to the point that the SEC clearly flexing some muscle here. And, to T-Hole Beddick's earlier tweet, this is 100% about USD hegemony having a stronghold over the global markets. The US dollar, of course, that reserve currency, and so they're seeing this as a threat. XRP playing a potentially central role into this. And the reason I say that, guys, is because you just have to follow the money. You have to see who is invested in XRP. For example, over the last couple of years, I've done some videos with Silver Lake investment founder Glen Hutchins. Now, if you guys don't know who Glen Hutchins is, I've done a couple of videos highlighting Glen's opinions on the market, why he chose to invest in Ripple. So he is invested not only in Ripple, but many different fintech companies that utilize cryptocurrencies. He sees the bigger vision. And so I wanted to start things off with this video that I did, guys. I'm going to play a clip for you, but I will link it in the description of the video if you want to watch the full video. This was back from January of 2020, almost 2 years ago. It'll give you some background on Glen Hutchins. Listen to this. Guys, I saw this from XQuest8 on Twitter, and this is really, really interesting. So at XQuest8 posts this, okay? Glen Hutchins owns a $39 billion private equity firm focused on the technology sector. 20 years in business, he is invested in 4 computing paradigms. He's now investing in Circle, Ripple, and Virtue. So XQuest8 retweeted another tweet of his which stated the 4th computing paradigm: first, mainframes, bulk data processing; second, distributed, multiple computer completing one task; third, mobile, accesses data wherever you are; and fourth, decentralized allocations of resources. So what we've got to know here is a little bit of background on Glen Hutchins. So I introduced the video there. I did not play that video in this video that I originally did, but I am going to play it for you guys today. I'm not going to play the full thing, but about a minute, just over a minute of it. Listen to what Glen Hutchins has to say. By the way, he's on a panel sitting here with Brad Garlinghouse. Listen to this.
There's a massive pool of legacy property in the payment space that we can disrupt. So what I'm looking for are companies that can take the price of transacting down by that same 90-some%. That's how I get to it. I think that I've tried to find that for a long time. I think the digital currency solution is the first thing I've looked at and said we have the potential to do that. Like Brad said earlier, when you send an email out today, you don't think about the underlying technology you're using. You're not using a TCP/IP or an SMTP company. You're using an email. But every time you send an email, you use those protocols to send the email out. Just like in the early 2000s, when we were building the underlying technology layer, the enabling platforms, enabling infrastructure, on top of which we put the applications companies. That's what's going on right now in the digital currency kind of space. So you can hear us talk about a lot of confusing things about what protocol, what token, what technology solution, how many transactions per second. But eventually what's going to happen is you're going to put value, something of value in, something of value is going to come out the other side, and you're not going to care what the underlying technology is. And that's when you know we're successful.
Yep.
All right, so that's what Glen Hutchins had to say at that forum on that panel. Let me get back to the clip from my original video. Let's give you guys a little bit of background on Glen Hutchins. So he's an American businessman and investor. He is a private equity investor focused on the technology sector and co-founder of Silver Lake Partners, a $39 billion private equity firm. So Glen Hutchins says he's been invested in many things before they were popular, including fintech. So he says he was invested in fintech 20 years ago, but the thing that they couldn't figure out how to penetrate these legacy systems, i.e. SWIFT, to do a better job than what they're doing, because a lot of that sector is very, very protected, as he's mentioned, and there's not too many angles you can get to within that industry without, they have it set up so that it's a monopoly, so that a certain few companies can do really, really well. Well, what he said is now that with Ripple technology, this is the actual only way he sees that they can do it. And the key, guys, is XRP and ODL. The fact that they can actually take the price down so much that their competitor won't really have a leg to stand on. If you penetrate the industry and you can give the customer instantaneous settlement at a fraction of pennies, you can strategically price your service so low that your competition won't know what to do. And this is what Glen Hutchins says is the key to success in this industry. So I thought that was really, really interesting. Again, guys, this is just a 3-minute clip here, posted by XQuest8. I will link it in the description. The tweet goes on here. You must have all seen the video now with Jay Clayton and Gary Cohen that was recently released. Wanted to give you some extra info. And then he goes on a little bit here, just a little screen grab here with regards to origins of decentralized computing. Guys, I will link this tweet in the description as well. Underdog XRP down here, also on the board of the NY Fed, and posts a link regarding that. And also, guys, posted in this tweet thread was this: Ripple investor Glen Hutchins, SEC Jay Clayton, and Gary Cohen, state of our securities market, guys. This from Daily XRP News, posted by Bank XRP. This video is an hour long. I haven't watched it yet, but it will be for some interesting watching today. I will also link this in the description for you guys if you really want to get deep into this. So when in doubt, folks, just follow the money. The fact that Glen Hutchins has had a profitable history growing certain companies within industries that may have been a bit fickle will bode well for his investment in Circle, Ripple, and Virtue. Okay, and so I'm going to stop that video there. Now, about a year later, I did another video where I touched on Glen Hutchins' opinion, and guess where he was speaking? Davos 2021. That's right, he was speaking at Davos. And, well, here's the clip. Listen to what he had to say about a year later. And to me, it sounds as though, and I don't know if this was just a coincidence or not, but it sounds as though Ripple is completely in line with what the world is talking about right now, at Davos in particular. And I wanted to bring up this clip from Ripple investor Glen Hutchins, okay? This brought to us by 432 Hertz XRP. He's the co-founder of Silver Lake Partners. They did invest in Ripple, and he was on a panel with Andrew Bailey and Hikmet Ersek. Listen to what he has to say here.
Open up a whole new way of using this digital currency technology, and a whole new set of products can be created around that. And we're now evolving into each particular company or each particular network that's created with a set of use cases has its own token. So we're at a place now where there are going to be a proliferation of tokens run on networks based upon certain protocols. And so there will be multiple tokens that'll be used. And my guess is, and those will be driven by the use cases that we present to consumers to use those tokens. And then they'll come back, in my view, into things like protocol, into things like Bitcoin and stable coins for purposes of being a store of value.
Okay, and I'm going to cut it there. So proliferation of tokens and the use cases, that's what's going to drive the utility. There's not going to be a one-size-fits-all token, I hate to say, because there's so much friction, I suppose you could say, in the world right now. And there are a lot of different projects that do different things. For example, I'm invested in Ripple's XRP, and I'm invested in VeChain's VET token. And those two particular cryptocurrencies solve different problems. I can't speak on the specifics of how they're designed, but I'm assuming they were designed for two specific problems. And one does one thing really well, and the other does the other thing really well. I don't know if they could be interchangeable, if VET could be used for cross-border payments, or if XRP could be used for supply chains. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is there are going to be a lot of tokens in this space. We will see some overlap, but the good thing about XRP is that there are so many people working on the XRPL that they are trying to expand use cases for XRP. And this, in my opinion, is what's going to make XRP and Ripple so successful. Okay, so let me stop that clip there. A couple of things. When I was recording this clip originally almost a year ago, I was talking about XRP and whether it could do other things like supply chain. I used that as an example because I was also talking about my investment in VeChain. Well, clearly we know much has happened in the last 10 months and much has been developed on the XRPL. NFTs, DeFi, I mean, you name it, the XRPL is being built out, not just for cross-border payments, but for other utility, which is obviously going to help perpetuate the Internet of Things. Anything worth transacting in can be built on the XRPL. The other thing I wanted to mention here, the fact that Glen Hutchins was at Davos, okay? Remember, this guy has a stake in Ripple, the company, has invested in the idea, right? The idea that cryptocurrency is going to move value. He was speaking at Davos. Now, not everybody gets a chance to speak at Davos. So what I decided to do was go to the World Economic Forum's website, look up our partners, and, just for the sake of interest, go down to S. We know Glen Hutchins was the founder of Silver Lake Capital. And sure enough, Silver Lake Capital is listed here on the World Economic Forum's website. So Glen Hutchins, the CEO, founder of Silver Lake, was at Davos, and Silver Lake is a trusted World Economic Forum partner. Glen Hutchins, of course, invested in Ripple. And so why does this not surprise me? Well, it doesn't surprise me, but I just thought I'd bring that to you in case you guys were interested in that connection. So earlier this year, there were also some new developments, like Glen Hutchins, along with Paul Tudor, launches a $72 million crypto VC fund. Again, this happened earlier this year. Paul Tudor, the American billionaire hedge fund manager, is backing a new $72 million crypto fund launched by veteran investor Glen Hutchins, along with his son, James Hutchins, and partner Travis Schur. The VC fund was reportedly launched out of the North Island Ventures, a New York-based VC firm. The new crypto VC fund attracted investment from many veteran investors, and then they rattle off a whole bunch of investors, including the Apollo Group, which, if you guys remember, signed Jay Clayton after he left the SEC. The new crypto VC fund had already made 7 investments up until now, including the Dapper Lab, the popular DeFi game developer behind CryptoKitties and Flow Blockchain. Just to give a Glen Hutchins quote, here's what he said: "Crypto promises not just to revolutionize finance, but also to invent a new computing paradigm that will be as transformational as the PC, the personal computer, the internet, mobility, and the cloud. It is the proverbial next big thing." So Glen Hutchins obviously betting heavily on the crypto space. I can see why, considering Silver Lake is part of the World Economic Forum, considering he also spoke at Davos a few months before this, or 1 month before this article was published. And so even if we just go back to this clip here, what he was saying at the end of this clip, so this is interesting to me to absorb, to see the connections, to understand why somebody would be invested in Ripple, knowing full well that cryptocurrency is going to move value. It also begs the question, and I know it seems counterproductive, why is the SEC demonizing other cryptocurrencies? Well, back to T-Hole Bedek's point here, it's 100% about US hegemony. Cryptocurrencies obviously threaten that, and this is why we're seeing US politicians come and speak out against cryptocurrencies, even if they are American companies. Another one that I just wanted to mention from earlier this year, right, cryptocurrencies are not just a store of value, claims Glen Hutchins. So another one from Glen, founder of Silver Lake Partners and private equity investor Glen Hutchins, is the latest to come out and support cryptocurrencies. Here's what he mentioned on Squawk Box earlier this year: "The right cryptocurrencies are more like copper or platinum than gold because they have use cases and they rise and fall not just as a store of value, but as their value in use." So boom, again, understanding the value that is going to be derived from these cryptocurrencies, not just seeing them as a store of value, but the real value is going to be in what people use them for. And if there is more demand, guys, this is why I keep saying if there is more demand, the price will go up just based on that demand. For example, if you want a PlayStation 5 and the store is out and they keep getting sold out of them, I know this is maybe a bit of a dated example now that PlayStation 5 isn't the latest, greatest thing. What will you end up seeing though? You will end up seeing people snatching up PlayStation 5s and putting them up for resale on the internet, maybe at a 20, 30, 40% increase. It's the same idea with cryptocurrencies. If there is not enough, but there is the demand, and the demand is bigger than just wanting them at this point. If the demand directly links with utility from banks, financial institutions, these are the use cases they are going to pay for them, and so that is what is going to increase price. Here, Hutchins was referring to cryptocurrencies that one needs to buy and sell in order to transact on NFT blockchains like Flow, so this has to do with NFTs particularly. So he's saying this in the context of NFTs. Interestingly, in a way, his statement can also be interpreted to be in contrast with what most investors have been focusing on over the past few weeks and months. Consider this. Prominent names in the space like MicroStrategy's Michael Saylor have for long been advocates for solely Bitcoin as a store of value. In many ways, Saylor set groundwork for public companies investing a portion of their assets into Bitcoin, with many other large public companies, including Tesla, proceeding to invest a sizable portion of their cash reserves into the market-leading cryptocurrency. In fact, recent reports have confirmed that over 21 public companies now hold some amount of Bitcoin in their treasury, accounting for close to 1% of Bitcoin's total supply. And again, guys, this was from earlier this year, so that number has just increased since then. But I don't want to get off topic talking about Bitcoin. I do want to focus on Glen Hutchins, his statements here, and his proclamation that the right cryptocurrencies are going to be the one not just for a store of value, but will have the utility, and that will be the reason these cryptocurrencies rise in price. And finally, I saw this on Twitter, XRP Captain 590 posting this, and I have not seen this Glen Hutchins interview before, so I thought I'd bring it to you guys. Quick recap, XRP Army, Glen Hutchins is board member of the Federal Reserve. He knows what he is talking about. So that is even more information that I think you guys should know. He is a board member of the Federal Reserve, and so listen to what he had to say to Yahoo Finance.
I can go through them, right? You just make use of the technology and the protocols make it work. The people who really understand what's going on with digital currencies understand that putting these protocols in place, the blockchain protocol, the Ethereum protocol, the Ripple protocol, the Ripple protocol, the Ripple protocol, and then enabling those protocols to cause transactions to occur. And then those transactions can be defined very broadly as not just moving things of value, but anything that's got an information content, is extraordinarily transformative. The focus on the value of the token is distracting and uninformative.
So don't focus on the value of the token, but notice he said the Ripple XRP protocol. That is what is important. Of course, XRP is going to be the lubrication for RippleNet. It is going to be liquidity sourced through XRP. That's what gives the XRPL value. But Glen Hutchins says, don't focus on the price, because right now, price is just speculative. Price goes up and down based on investor sentiment, based on human psychology. And so, although it is fun to trade in a spec market, the real world utility is really what is going to get that price sky high. And it's investors like Glen Hutchins, the founder of Silver Lake, who is a World Economic Forum partner, who understands the future, understands how cryptocurrency is going to move value across the globe. These are the guys to be paying attention to, even though we are seeing distractions like eToro delisting Cardano and Tron. And guys, this is probably just the beginning. I'm sure many other cryptocurrencies will be subject to SEC scrutiny moving forward. I'm just happy again that Ripple and XRP were in court with the SEC as soon as they were, because it's 100% about USD hegemony. Let's not fool ourselves here. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.